Okay, we've got a very exciting speaker next, and that's Rebecca Mihalic from Business Depot. And Rebecca's going to talk to us about maximising opportunities post-lockdown. Rebecca has a wealth of knowledge. She's a partner with Business Depot and has spoken many times on the key to success in your business and the key to financial success. So thank you very much. Put your hands together for Rebecca, please.
Good morning, everybody. It is so great to actually be in front of people live again instead of just having all these education pieces over Zoom. So today I'm going to talk about maximising some of the opportunities as we're coming out of lockdown, and particularly in the Blacktown area, some of the things that we can be doing to make sure that your business is prepared to seize any opportunities that come your way in 2022. I am Rebecca Mihalic. I am the Director of the Sydney Operations for Business Depot. Business Depot is a national accounting firm at its core, but we offer multiple services to businesses, including legal, HR, and we partner with lots of other businesses as well. So we're the one-stop shop. We've got great referrals in the marketing space and a lot of other things that businesses need. So we're looking at COVID and what it's done to our businesses. It's changed the way we do business forever. And it's not just about the fact that now people might want to work from home a little bit more. It's the way that we look at our businesses, understand our businesses, and make sure that we're across our numbers every single day to allow us to take advantage of opportunities. Businesses, for the first time in my career, have really wanted to delve into their numbers at a bigger stage. I've been doing this for about 20 years now. And if we're really honest, a lot of businesses in Australia kind of cruised through some good times leading up to COVID. And a lot of businesses, particularly in this area, were really shocked when we went into lockdown because what they used to do for many years, they couldn't do anymore. So my top 10 tips for a post-COVID world and success in 2022, I am an accountant, so unsurprisingly, it starts with your numbers. So knowing what your break-even is and understanding how that impacts your profit, and know what you need to live on. And not you personally only, but your business. What does your business need to live on? So if we're looking at your break-even, when you're understanding what your break-even point is your next net fixed commitments. So these are the fixed costs that you can't get away from. Then we have a look at your variable expenses. Now these expenses are variable because they fluctuate with the level of your sales. Once you have that and your sales income, you can start to find the point where your business breaks even. So that's not making profit, not making losses, but just making sure it's covering all of its expenses. Now that doesn't sound very inspiring, so why are we interested in knowing that? To understand what your profit potential is. You can't understand what profit your business is going to make if you don't know where you have to get to first to start making profits. Understand the effects of adding costs. So when you add staff members, change premises, sign up for a new subscription, what is that going to do to your break-even point? Understand what it means when you cut costs from your businesses. What costs should you be cutting and what impact will it really have? Understand what your revenue versus your growth cost. When you understand your variable costs, you better understand that an extra $100 in your business doesn't mean an extra $100 on your bottom line. What is going to impact your actual profit? And being able to forecast out your profit and your cash flow, which, as we've all learned in the last 2 years, cash is absolutely king. So when we're having a look at what your fixed costs are, we've got rent, payroll, license fees, software costs, all these things that you have to pay the same amount every single month, every week, however often it is. These are your fixed costs. And your variable costs are those costs that are a percentage of your income. When you have that information and you're able to have a look at what guaranteed cash you have coming in, you can start to assess what the cash gap is in your business as well. So what are the holes I need to plug? What are my revenue targets? What money do I need to bring in to actually make sure that I'm not just breaking even, but making a profit? And if you're looking at your costs and you find something and you think, oh, I really should cut that, if that's niggling in your mind, then absolutely you should have already cut that cost from your expenses. Tip number 2, Understand how much of the money is yours. Now, Blacktown in particular is really founded by a lot of small businesses. So this is, your mum and dad businesses, sole traders that convert into into companies as they grow. And we often get confused and look at this bank account in our companies like, that's my money. Well, we need to really understand what is not our money and what do we need to be putting aside. Working capital. Most people underestimate how much money they need for their working capital. So if we look at it on a month-to-month basis, how much money do you need to pay all the expenses in your business that you will incur for the next month if you had no revenue? This was incredibly important for businesses to understand during COVID, and the businesses that were good at this actually were able to get through a lot easier. Some of this is, you don't need to keep all of this in cash in your bank account, but need to be able to access it quickly. One of the biggest ways that businesses access cash in this area, which is absolutely not my preference, is drawing down on your mortgage. That's more of a emergency stop. You should have other access to money to get you out of trouble. Or at least have a plan. How quickly could you go to the bank? How quickly could you get an investor in your business? How quickly can you actually generate additional revenue in your business if for some reason there was no revenue coming to you from customers? Put aside cash for rainy days. Understand what your kitty needs to be to get you through if things are tough. You can have a look at owner drawings, significant business payments, capital improvements, new assets, and prior year tax payments. These are all the places where cash just seems to disappear in your business. If you have a look at this and see what you can actually reduce, you can start to build up a kitty in your business where you can either use it if there is a problem with revenue or to invest in new opportunities, particularly coming into the new year. You can't invest if you don't have a source of funds to make that investment. And please, 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 please put money aside from tax. We have gone through a relatively good period with the ATO over the last couple of years. They have been lenient with tax plans. This is not going to go on forever. They will start to want to claw back some of their money. Tip number 4, create a culture that does not tolerate waste. Efficiency needs to be a constant focus in your business. So when we're looking at the deadly wastes in a business, overproduction, waiting, transporting, inappropriate processing, unnecessary inventory, unnecessary motions, defects. The inventory one in particular for this area, because there's a lot of businesses that carry inventory, is hugely important. There are massive costs involved with holding stock past its date of actual use or where it could be saleable, and spending money on excessive storage area if you don't need to. Embrace technology for leverage. Change process challenges. Now or never, you need to do this. If COVID taught us nothing else, we need to be flexible with processes and really start to leverage technology. We need to get traction on this. We need to move faster. There are still some businesses that aren't embracing the cloud and aren't looking at new ways to actually work with their clients to sell their products and services. And technology is not just about an online platform to sell, it's also technology back in your business. How can we embrace technology to improve our processes, save transaction costs, save even labour costs? And not just on a saving side, we're struggling with finding enough labour across all industries at the moment due to closed borders. So we need to look to technology to actually do some of this work for us and be able to improve our business models. It's all about automation. What can the technology do for us that we don't need to do? And it's not about the machines taking our jobs, it's about leveraging technology so you can do more of what you want to do instead of just doing processing or data entry. Clarity of the point of difference. We have a great presentation coming up that will talk a little bit more about this, but understand why people choose to do business with you. So purple cows, that's something that stands out, isn't it? You don't see them very often. What is it that's going to make people stand up and pay attention and take notice of you and your business? What is your model? How do you sell? Understand who you are, and what you deliver, and really embrace it. And big or boutique, don't do both. Pick where you're going. Find what industry you're in. Everyone contributes. Now, this is about your team. Accountability is absolutely key. Who's sleeping on your couch? Who in your team is not pulling their weight, not contributing, not really being part of that community in your business that will help your business succeed. And create a culture of accountability within your team. And to do this, you need to be transparent with your team. Give them more information about what's going on in the business, the what, the why, the how. Make sure that all the information you provide to them is easy to understand. Give them some access. You don't need to give them your profit and loss, but maybe give them some of the financial information. Let them know what the sales are. Let them know what the sales targets are. Let them know what the variable costs are. The data doesn't lie when you're looking at that, so they will feel more confident about their contribution towards the business. And give them KPIs. If you measure what they do, then you can actually have a better conversation with them when it's not done. And when we're going through this, and what we've been through in the last couple of years, as a business leader, your team needs you more than ever to actually lead and get through the next little bit and really take advantage of anything that comes up in 2022. If you have a look at the 5 dysfunctions of a team: inattention to results, avoidance of accountability, lack of commitment, fear of conflict, absence of trust. That avoidance of accountability is right up the top there. So as a leader, you yourself need to be accountable to your team and make sure they are accountable back to you. Have an open conversation with them. Talk to them, bring them on the journey. Be prepared to take chances. Now, everything I just talked about might seem a little bit like, oh, well, that's what we needed to do to get us through COVID, but it's what we need to keep on doing. Don't forget to keep looking at your numbers. Be prepared. If you are prepared, you can actually take advantage of the opportunities. Risks are less risky if you are ready. Have the cash or the access to capital put aside if there is a great investment. Now, that might be in equipment, new team, new product lines, whatever it is that suits your business. If you're running on empty all the time, you can't possibly be able to take advantage of opportunities as they arise, and somebody else will. Change your mindset. Be willing to take those risks. Be willing to make the changes in the business that you need. Be willing to actually jump on board and have a look at how you can change your business model for the better. And do your research. Due diligence is absolutely vital, particularly if you're doing any new investment or changing your business model. If you're not comfortable with doing the due diligence process yourself, there are plenty of people out there who can help you. You need to get your house in order and know your numbers. Be prepared to be able to take advantage of anything that 2022 throws our way. The last thing I want to leave on is talking about putting on your own masks. This is incredibly important as business owners. I have worked with lots of businesses, especially in the local area in the last couple of years, and what I can say is business owners take that sense of importance of what's going on with not just their business but their whole entire team. They put everybody before themselves at the detriment of their own mental health often. You are no good to anybody else if you can't take care of your own mental health. Make sure that you are getting the help that you need, that you are looking at your own numbers, getting the advice that you need. You're not in this alone. You belong to a great community of business partners. We have here Trevor Oldfield, the president of the Greater Blacktown Business Chamber. That is one of the best chambers I've ever joined. It's an amazing group of people. The council is doing some wonderful things for the community as well. There are wonderful resources. Please reach out to these people, join some networking groups, keep coming to these events. Business Depot is also here to help you. We offer a range of services to help you get through, give you everything that you need to succeed and take advantage of whatever comes along in 2022. We offer advisory, legal, marketing, people and culture, tax services, digital advice, real estate services, accounting, superannuation advice, franchising advice, business broking, financial planning, really anything that you need. Thank you so much for your time today.